Okay, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. This is the scraps that you saw probably in a previous video, except they were all mixed together, and we used up a bunch of lace to make some pin clusters. That is a video that I have recorded. And then while I was having a chat with my bestie, she and her and I were talking, so I just started, like, while we're chatting, might as well, and broke the rest of the little bin, because it was originally this stuffed absolutely full, and then this box also was full. So we used up a lot of lace in that last video. So that's all that's left of the lace. Then this is like ribbon and like bead trim, things like that. Then this is like weird random stuff over here. And then this is like, I don't know if you can see it, cordage, twine, things like that. That could be for like ties on things or making some little tabs on paper clips or whatever. But this is what we're going to focus on today. These fabric scraps. Because I am on a scrap busting agenda, as I have been organizing and going through my new studio space, workspace, whatever you want to call it, where I work. And so here is what I am thinking. We're going to make some fabric tags. These fabric tags are going to kind of be like fabric flips, but they're going to be on a tag form. So that is what I am thinking of doing. And so I also pulled out, these are like weird little paper bits and pieces. There's some plain tags. I'm going to grab those right away, because those will be probably fun and easy to work with. And then they're plain on the other side. So I'm going to grab a few of those. This one I thought was fun because it already has that on it. And then there's a few other bits. And then I put like clothing tags and things like that in a little drawer. And then I pulled from them to do fun things with. I did a whole bunch of paper scraps on tags the other day. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to just start finding some bits that will fit on these, and then we're going to trim. I'm going to trim them, and we're going to get them on here, and we'll do some fun layering and get to it. So I'm already just choosing like original starter base pieces. This is even wider, so I could find something even wider. These are kind of pretty. Oh, that's got a little flower on it. That's red. We'll do you on there. These are like business cards and all kinds of different stuff. So that could be a writing space there too. I'll have to think on that. Some of these, like business cards and whatnot, I'm never quite sure. Okay, so this one will also fit on here. We're gonna do this. So I'm just gonna start trying to find layers, and I want to do like 3 or 4 layers on these friends. So I'm gonna kind of do assembly line style. So there's that one, and then this is a nice big tag to go on here. I don't know if I'm going to trim them completely down yet or not, or if I'm going to just leave it as is. This purple is really pretty. Okay, let's see if we can find some other bigger bits and pieces. This is probably the edge of like an old tablecloth, pillowcase, a shirt. I don't know, unknown where this came from, but that's okay. Let's see what else we have. Some larger pieces. This plain one will go well on something. What else do we got? That's kind of pretty. I don't want to cover that. Okay, maybe I got to find some more plain stuff. More plain things. I think this is really cute. Maybe I'll leave this so this can flip up. That's kind of cute with the little... These were from a pair of socks I got from my sister. I know that for a fact. It's like a little tiny black one. That could be nice. Let's see what else we have. Timmy Holtz. That's mostly black. We could leave that on one side, put something on the other. That's, see, you can see I just clothing tags, whatever. Here's a yellow one. Here's a red one. Okay, so that's probably enough to kind of get going. All right, so step one, have tags or papers. You like use whatever you have. I have this. This is what I'm using. All right, I'm gonna start. Let's just find a few more because I kind of want to. I'm gonna record a bunch of this, but then I'm gonna fast forward through bits that kind of get probably a little old that you're like, okay, we know how to do that already. Or else I'll cut to the next section of what to do. But first, I'm just using these scraps. I'm not gonna pull anything else. I have to use these and these alone. That's it. So I'm laying down some rules for myself. I have another red. Okay, next up, we're gonna glue these down onto their bases. So the first layer of fabric to the tag, and then we'll decide if we want to trim it down so it's even all around or leave it kind of sticking out. We might do a combination. So I should have grabbed something to glue on. That has been my failing as of late, to keep forgetting I need a glue book of some sort. So let me grab an old magazine or something quick. Okay, found a magazine. Found a Naughty Pants Rabbit mess. So that's fine. We're working on it. We're working with it. So now I'm going to, I have a glue book, or this is, so another use of old magazines, ones that maybe don't have some pages that you're not as fond of, you're not going to necessarily use. The more plain space, that doesn't make a lot of sense for things, especially shiny stuff, if you don't like glossy pages. So this is just this magazine here, and this is what I'm going to use it for. Gives me a spot to glue, so I'm not getting glue all over the things that are important. And then glue it on to your, oh, let's see, let's do it this way. That way. Okay. And that is nice and glued down. And then we have the base, the starting point for a cute little tag. So there's one. Now I'm going to do that whole step with the rest of these. Okay, all of them have, oh, I missed one because I accidentally put glue on the wrong side. So I was letting it dry first before I did that. So here's what I'm gonna do next step. I'm going to look at some of these and decide how I would like to cut them down a little bit. And this one, I think I'm going to try and just do, pink it right close to the edge. I am not hitting the paper. I'm just going right next to it. So some of these I think I will trim down. Others I'm gonna leave rough. And we're gonna make some other little choices. So that one is ready for its next step. So now we're gonna have even smaller scraps. Some of these are gonna have to go in the garbage. There's just gonna have to be a time when we stop. Okay, so this one, I want it to be just like a little, almost like a little sample, a little sampler of some fabrics. So I'm gonna cut this even here. But because the writing space could be there, so we're just gonna have this tucked in like this and maybe staple these together like it's a cute little fabric sample. So I'm just gonna trim it down even here because there's some cute little birds on the back of this too. This is from a sticker package box. So that one's good. I'm happy with that. And yeah, that's what we're gonna keep doing, trimming them down, moving on with this next step. So this one is good to go. I'm gonna make sure I'm putting all the tops facing up because we're gonna have to repunch some holes too. So that's next steps. Okay, so now we're on to our next step. So we need to find the next couple layers of fabrics or something to go with these. So some of these, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this. I don't think I need this anymore. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And set that off to the side. Okay, these friends need their next layers. Now, I was thinking these ones are going to go really good with my other journal. So let's think which one of these might, so you want to kind of stagger them so you can see the different layers. I think that one will go really well there. So we're going to put that one there. Now, this could be fun on somebody. So I'm just gonna grab different pieces of material and see where they might look fun to add the next kind of layer. So we want to layer them so that you can see the material behind poking out. That's the goal. That's the goal. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the next step now. So we have some interesting layers going on. In case you didn't know, this is a flat iron. It's been around for a while. I can use it very easily to straighten out my little schnibbles here, and it works very well. So I think that one is about where I want it to go, like so. And now it's deciding, do we want to glue it? Do we want to staple it? What do we want to do? But I like how this one looks a lot. And then you can lift up the layers. You could add some more stuff. You could sew these down. Because I'm going to punch a hole in them, I don't think I'll sew them down, because then I'd be putting a hole right through my sewing. So I think what I'm going to do is glue, and I need to grab that glue. So, because I want to use fabric tack, I think. And I want to make sure I have all my layers lined up exactly where I wish them to be. So they're all peeking out just a little bit somehow. And then go like that. In fact, I might just staple this one, but another thing you can do is you could take some seam binding or something like that. Like here is a piece of seam binding. And you could just sew them down and then that's it. You're done. This would be a really small piece of seam binding. Or a little fabric scrap and wrap it around. There's different ways that you could do this. Like so. So you could use another scrap to do that. Or you could use a piece of paper as well and wrap it right around there. Get it all glued around and then punch your hole. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but I know that one is ready to go. This one I am going to staple. I know I'm going to staple because it's cheated down a little bit. And this piece was like the perfect size, so I'm just going to line that up. And then this little friend, it's kind of got a unique end down here. And it already has a tie on it, and I'm not going to change anything with that. So I'm just going to use my little stapler and staple this right on top here. Like so. Not the most even. I meant to do a little X, but there it is. And then writing space, or you can add this on as a cluster or something like that. So that one done. And I might take these, I might do some sewing with these, but I want to make sure they're below that hole. If I do, this one I'm not sure about. I might just glue this around here like that. Glue it and then put the hole through it. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that one. Let's see what this friend looks like. This is a very, I wanted it to be very kind of ratty-tatty here a little bit. Let's do this. And then this fun bit like that. I mean, that could wrap around. Where's the hole? The hole in this is really far up, so I could zip some of these through the sewing machine, and I might actually do that. So that one is going to go there as well. So that one and that one. Let me get a clip. Do I have clips handy? No, of course I don't. They should be. That's another thing I have to put on my list. Do I have some scraps, paper scraps that I can use for this? Yeah, look. Here's a red square. Let's do you. Let's do you, friend, because you will go with one of these guys over here. Do this one. All right, we'll do this red one here quick. Flattening, straightening. Let's do you like that. then you like that, and then you. Like that. Yes, I do need to get my glue for sure, because I should glue, then cut. It'll be so much easier to do that. Actually, it's fine. It's fine. Make your life annoying. Do it. It's fine. Okay. So that one's ready to get this on top. Do I like this on top? I don't know. I don't think I like it. Of course not. Biscuits. Ah! Okay. Might have to have a pause and a think to figure out what I want to do for the rest of this. So, yeah. Pause and think. I had a think and a ponder, and I kind of moved ahead on a few of these just to kind of get some things flowing a little bit. So, couple of ways that we can finish these off. So here's what I did, because I had some ideas on a few of the things. So these couple here, I used staples because it kind of made more sense at the time. So we still have plenty of space for writing. So it's still a journaling tag or whatever. It's just pretty. You can just put this in your book, whatever. Use it as a page tab, whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I just did a couple of the little fasteners right there on that one. Same on this little friend, but I left this kind of loose and it still has its string on it. So we're just going to leave it as is. And then this one as well, just a little X there. And that's how all of this is fastened. Okay. So this one needs a hole. This one needs a hole. This one is essentially done. Then this friend, I did staple it down there as well. So we have all of our little flip ups in this one and a little writing space. And then I may put something over the back, but it's got these cute little birds and stuff, so we'll see. So that one's essentially done. Now these couple here, I did end up sewing. So this one, I just did a little zigzag stitch across the top. That's all I did for that one. And those are all good to go. So that one's essentially done. Then this one, same thing. I just did a little straight stitch, very neat and even across the top with the sewing machine. And I just used whatever color. It just happened to match really well with what I had in here. Same with this one. Straight stitch back and forth a couple of times on this one. And a couple of these I've already went ahead and repunched the hole. So that one is essentially done. So they're going to need some little ties added to them. Same with this one. However, because it had the hole in it already that I could see, I kind of went around. It wasn't as even as it could have been, but little straight stitch just around there. So that holds all of the fabric bits in place and still leaves us plenty of space to put our little tag topper in. Now these friends are going to get paper. So I had these circles that I had already cut out of some of my scraps. So that's one of the other things that I do with my scraps is I will sit with my scrap bin and I will go through and I will just cut some shapes, because you never know when you can just, you need like a little circle or a little something, right? So I will go through my scrap bin every once in a while and just grab a handful, punch a bunch of circles just for something to do. So this one I already glued together. So I just used one of these circles, folded it in half, inked the edges. I glued down the fabric first on this one. So I glued each little piece on just at the top and then folded that over and put it on there. So this will be ready to be punched as well. And I don't know if I can find, I would like to just use the hole that's in there, and maybe I can do that. So I'm just going to take, not with the pen, just so I can see where that is so we can punch it. Okay, so that one's ready to get punched again. So let's go ahead and get these put together really quick. And I'm just going to take a little Distress ink and ink the edges of what I have decided for my topper. So I'm just going to use some brown here. Okay, so that step is done. So now we're going to do the next step. So we're going to glue our little bits on up in the top. We're going to punch. Now, you wouldn't have to punch holes in these if you don't want to. You could just leave them as is, just like that, with no topper. And I was thinking of not doing that in a couple of these, but I'm not so sure. Because I think these two are probably going to go into the little botanical field style journal that I'm working on, because I think the colors go really well with them, but I'm not completely sold on that idea just yet. So you could always leave them and not punch holes in them and just wait until, you know, whatever project you have, and then add it on later. But because this is so crooked on that one, I'm gonna punch the hole because it's kind of throwing me off. So I'm just using my big Crop-A-Dile because it cuts really well, and this one's pretty dry, and I can see that hole right there. Now, these don't always go great through fabric, so you end up with little bits sticking out. I just trim them off. And maybe it's because mine is starting to get dull. I don't know. Tis what it is. So that one's got a hole in it. Let's put one in you. I don't know if this had one in it or not, so we're just making our own. It's through multiple layers of stuff now at this point, so I'm pretty okay with that. I just want to make sure it's centered, because that would irritate me. So I've just marked a little dot, measured it to put it on center. And I can't see because I need bifocals. Yeah. Oh, for Pete. Ooh, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. We got her though. It was a lot of layers for that friend to go through. It's fine though. It worked. We got her. We got her. All right. And then you could put an eyelet in if you wanted to, whatever. That one's pretty wet yet. I don't think I'm going to cut that one just now. Now we need some toppers for these. Oh, we need to punch these two friends really quick as well. So this one kind of has a hole. Thud. Ka-chunk. Ka-chunk. Probably rattles the camera, I'm sure, too. All right, now let's get some toppers. So this one is fine. This one is fine. We don't need anything for those. So we need something for these guys. So let me lay these friends out and see what we can find that will be cute. Okay, so I think that's everybody aside from our two here and then these two little friends, which they might get some more embellishment down the line. Some other things you could do. You could do a little bit of slow stitching. You could add some other little applique. There's so many different things that you could do. You could put like a fun little hidden picture underneath these, and that's what I like to do sometimes too, is like later on I'll sneak a little something underneath too, a little fun surprise. But there we go. We made a dent in this little bundle of scraps for sure. And we made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. No, I thought we had 12. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Whew. Not that it's like not that big of a deal even if I did, because it's fine. But we made all of these fun little friends today. So I hope you guys try it out. Use up those scraps and shoot me a comment. Is there other stuff that you'd like to see me do with some scraps? Something you've seen before, you want to see my take on it? If you have any go-to ideas to use up your scraps, whether they're paper or fabric or ribbon or whatever, let me know. And as we continue this scrap busting adventure, as I'm still trying to come up with more and more ideas to use up my stuff. So anyway, have fun, do something for yourself, and don't forget, art with your heart. You have a fantastic day. Bye.